Good morning, everyone. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for being here and for clicking on the videos, stopping on by. As today, and excuse me if I have any sort of mispronunciations, but today we're going to listen to a piece from Nicolas Gombert. We're going to be listening to this piece entitled Musae Jovis. Musae Jovis? Jovis? Not sure if the S is silent on the end. I'm pretty sure it is. But anyways, we're listening to this because this was suggested and sponsored by Sylvain. So Sylvain, thank you so much for the recommendation and for the request as well. Some of the information that Sylvain has sent over regarding Mr. Gombert was he was one of the last Franco-Flemish lineage, and then it split off into different schools as well. So he has quite a few inspirations and influences as well. And listen, I couldn't find a ton of information regarding this specific piece. But with Nicolas Gombert, I do see that he was a composer for the Renaissance and one of the most famous and influential composers between Joachim de Paris and Palestrina, which I've seen that name recently as well, Palestrina, and best represents the fully developed, complex polyphonic style of this period in music history. So let's go ahead and dive on into it. The best way to be educated is to listen and learn. So let's go ahead and do so right now. We're going to be listening to the Ensemble Clement Janikin as well. That's where this particular piece is being performed from. Let's go ahead and dive on in. Depth of that baritone. I mean, it's beautiful. There is such a depth and a richness in their voices that to me is just overwhelming in a beautiful way. Like it is just radiance and almost like this vocal heat that is just shown upon us, and you can't help but turn away. But at the same time, your body and your ears are invigorated listening to it, and you feel some sort of deep reverence, a reverberance in yourself. And I think that this piece really captures that. The voices layer and lap upon each other like waves that are just ebbing and flowing across the shore. And I love just the assortment and the variety, the clarity of voices that we hear. And Sylvain had chosen to specifically recording rather, due to the clarity there. And that is 100% a wonderful thing. So this particular album came out in 2021, relatively recent here. And I love how the production allows the music and their voices to breathe, to expand, and to have room, but still maintain a sort of intimacy, a sort of, this is just where my mind goes, perhaps at a cathedral in front of an altar, and it's a quiet candlelight service of sorts. And, you know, there's a humility to it. There's a certain approach with respect. But like I said, the actual production allows that music to breathe. Actually, that'd be kind of an interesting thing to learn about in some of the music we've been listening to, is the production side of it. And like, especially I'm thinking music like this and how it's captured so perfectly and given so much depth. Just really wonderful production on that particular part of the things. And I like how there's just a little bit of musical accompaniment just below the voices to give it a little bit of a spring, so to speak, but a very light and gentle spring. And then they just kind of march forward from there. The lowest voices, those baritones, those shake the walls of this musical cathedral that we are envisioning ourselves in. The walls are shaking, and not in a about to fall or scared or fearful kind of way, but just with power, just with sheer power. Every time their voices would come in, it felt like this very satisfying drone that would just kind of seep through the lighter voices, the mid to light voices that were in there. And it would just like creep in between the cracks of them, and always had a presence there. And when they came through, I mean, there was a presence. Especially in the end, they kind of all get onto one note specifically, and they push it not in like a kind of way, but like a strong vibrating push there at the end that just kind of closes things out really nicely. This is a really gorgeous piece of music to listen to, and I love listening to everything that we've heard in this kind of circle, in this specific genre and time and everything. It's just been a fantastic experience from every single respect there. Let's go ahead and look at some of the lyrics here. Now, this was composed in memory as well of Josquin des Prix. So with that in mind, we're going to look at the lyrics here. So it's Muses of Jupiter. Muses, offspring of thrice greatest Jupiter, wail in song. Let the cypress pull together its foliage. Josquin himself is dead, or the ornament of churches and your own ornament. O harsh and wicked death, who deprives the churches of their sweet sounds, and the courts of princes too. The evil which I will invoke on you is for taking away the good and sparing the bad. I like that, an invocation against, God's incense here. For depriving the church and mankind of these beautiful musicians and the music that they would produce. Those who deprive the churches of their sweet sounds. That's kind of interesting. But Apollo threatens you with being killed, almost terrible death, and he is encouraging the muses to join in. He is skillful with bows and arrows, and he emphasizes that the muses should join in, and has laurel in his hair and gold in his hair. Josquin, welcome to Jupiter greatest and best, speaks and makes his triumphal entry among heaven's dwellers, and sings a sweet song, the ornament of churches, the ornament of the muses. The groans of death surrounded me, hell's agonies surrounded me. So it's almost like, curse you for stealing, in a sense, this wonderful composer and musician and taking him away. But on the other hand, like it says at the end, welcome to Jupiter greatest. Like, you'll be making some sweet music, basically, up there in the heavens. That's basically what It seems the lyrics are kind of going towards curse you for stealing him, but bless you for the music you're going to hear, because you're going to hear what we heard down here. I think that that's sensational. That's a wonderful listen. It's magnificent. Their voices, come on. What else is there to say about that? Let me know what you guys thought of it, of course, in the comments below. I hope that you enjoyed the music. Thank you as always for sticking around here. Sylvain, once again, thank you so much for the request and for the support as well. I appreciate that. Please enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.